Get ready, get ready, get ready. It's Let's Talk Business with Cheryl J. Cousteau, and I'm here with my co-host who's giving us the blueprint. Welcome back, Derrick Blue.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me once again. I'm excited today. I think we got some great information we're going to share.
I think we do, and I see that our special guest is here. So let's take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Theresa Lewis to Let's Talk Business.
Doc.
Good afternoon. Hey, family.
Welcome, Dr. Lewis.
Yes, sir.
I know this is a family affair, and she has some really critical information that we want to share. But let's just take a moment because May is a very important month for a number of reasons. Y'all know it's Mother's Day. One of the things that we want to talk about today, it's also Teacher Appreciation Week.
Yes.
And Derrick has become a teacher.
Oh my goodness. I have a degree. I just got a degree. I got a pandemic degree. I got a doctorate in
virtual teaching.
In virtual teaching.
But it is, and we do want to give our special thanks and appreciation to the amazing teachers, those who didn't realize they were teachers. We know our parents, our moms really become our first teachers. And so I'm going to take this opportunity to introduce Dr. Lewis first. Now, Dr. Lewis, you look like you just got out of college, and what you have been involved in and the amount of time that you have spent educating our children on so many different varied levels is incredible. And I'm just going to start with, listen, to our radio listening audience, thank you for tuning in on your lunch break. Listen, like us on Facebook, share the video, what Dr. Lewis has to say to you. You want to make sure that you're sharing it with our youth. I was going to see if she would mentor me, but there's an age criteria.
I'll still work with you. I got you.
When I read that, I said, oops, I am not even, look, I'm way past that. But Dr. Lewis's professional career as an educator and counselor spans 25 plus years with experience in secondary schools, as well as the community college and university settings. She has worked with a variety of student populations, including first-generation students who experience a plethora of academic and or professional challenges, and high-achieving scholarship recipients. She teaches first-year experience courses and is a member on numerous committees that engage in policy decisions that affect students and faculty. Services on steering committees for an annual national conference and select scholarship recipients. In addition, she is the founder of C Star. That's a capital C dash capital STAR Solutions LLC, which engages in counseling, coaching, and collaborative projects such as Mentor Me. She serves on several boards in the community and as a musician in the local church community. Listen, I've got two musicians or musical artists on the show today. One of them are going to help me sing this song. Welcome to the show, Dr. Lewis.
Thank you. So glad and excited to be here. Thank you.
You know what you forgot to mention, Cheryl?
I know he was going to do it. No, you were going to bring that in.
You know, she is also one of my board members. And everything that you read on there, she is really about that life like that, about the community, about helping people, with the things that we do in our organization. I mean, we touch on housing. She didn't include that. We touch on people living with HIV, entrepreneurship. So, not only, does her kind of pedigree reaches even further, than that. And, and I'm just happy that, she took time out of her schedule to join us today.
I know, and I'm super excited. I think right before the show, she was already tutoring with some of her students, and that's what makes it so important. And Derek Blue hit it on the head. Pedigree, your tentacles exceed anybody's reach capacity, and for that
Mm.
we say thank you. We're going to pivot just a bit, and we're going to come and hear more from you. But we do know that May is also, as I mentioned a little earlier, it's an important month, and we certainly want to take this opportunity to bring awareness to both Mother's Day and Teachers Appreciation. I was asking Derek Blue, and everybody who knows him knows that he has a phenomenal voice. And I
Mm.
know you are very, very musical as well. But I remember as a little girl having to memorize this poem, and it was also a song. And this is a tribute that Derek and I would like to share with mothers, all mothers. And we'll tell you about our adopted mother and grandmother in just a moment. But the acronym MOTHER, MOTHER, is a song that was actually recorded by Eddie Arnold and then written by Theodore Morse. And it goes something like this. M is for the million things she gave me. O. O means only that she's growing. O. T. T is for the tears she sheds to save me. H. H is for her heart of purest gold. E. E is for her eyes with love light shining. R. R means right, and right she'll always be. Put them all together, they spell mother, a word that means the world to me and you. So happy Mother's Day to
Nice.
all of our faithful listeners to the show. Now, Derek,
Yes.
oh look, we've got a guest popping on. Dr. Lewis, Derek and I were very fortunate to meet a phenomenal STEM trailblazer. And you can appreciate this because she was also an educator, started out as a mathematician, graduate from HBCU. And that's Dr. Gladys B. West. We
Yes.
featured her for Black History Month and did a phenomenal book club launch, mother-daughter virtual book club with her just this past Saturday. She then became Derek Blue's adopted
Yeah.
grandmother. And Malia did
Aw.
the cutest thing, Derek. And her last comment was, Dr. West, would you be my adopted great grandmother?
I heard her do that. I heard her. That wasn't even coached. I guess she said, "You're not gonna leave me behind."
Oh, and not only
Wow.
that, but Dr. Lewis, we had 5 girls on from STEM Exposure and how from Kenya, and then we had them
Okay.
here locally. And how about they all asked Dr. West would she adopt them as their
Oh
great
my,
grandmothers as well?
oh my goodness. Wow. That's awesome.
And so today, Dr. Gladys B. West, at the age of 92 years old, we love you,
Wow.
we appreciate you.
Yes.
Happy Mother's Day. And Dr. Lewis, we did a book launch for her book, as you see on the flyer there. It
Mm-hmm.
began with a dream.
Hmm.
And I was just telling Derek Blue, our adopted grandmother, and she's Mother West now to me. I get to call her Mother West and Papa West. Our
Hmm.
book commitments are up to 595 books. That's how many book commitments we got over her book club over the
Over the
weekend.
course of a weekend.
Okay.
Yes, yes. So we know we're going to get 5 more today, which is going to help us round it off to
Yeah. Sounds like you should add
600.
me to that list. Go ahead and make it 596.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Actually, I
awesome.
was reading, and you're going to tell us about it. And I know your students are going to have to. They'll be provided a reading list. And I was thinking, Dr. West's book will be amazing. It's more like a memoir, but for them to understand that so many years ago, Dr. West was on the team, and she specifically helped to solve the problem which created the GPS. So if you use your
Yeah.
navigation system, the GPS,
Yeah.
you can thank Dr.
Her
West.
fingerprint is all
Yeah.
over it.
Beautiful.
That's right. You can call it the blueprint.
Yes.
And
Beautiful.
but you'll
Yeah.
hear more about it. But I'm sure once you see it and learn about her book, you will definitely want your students
Oh
to be
yeah.
a part of that as
Okay.
well. So thank you for your contributions. Dr. Lewis,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
brought you here to the show was a flyer that we've been promoting called Mentor Me.
Mm-hmm.
Will you talk to us about the flyer? Please share with us the name C-Star Solutions. How did that come about?
So some years ago, I was working with a young lady, and when I thought about, the work that I like to do as I pour into others, that name just came to me, and it was very clear to the point that it's actually an acronym that stands for S is for smart, talented, anointed, and ready, and C is for Christ, who's at the head of everything that we do. And that is how I came up with C-Star Solutions. It sat on the shelf until the time was right. And for the past, I would say at least 8 or 9 years or so, it's been, up and running. I keep it small. I don't push it a lot. My social media page is not up to date. I'll be very honest about that. Because I want to make sure that when I go full blast and put it all out there, that I'm fully ready to execute and deliver. And as you can see, I stay pretty busy operating on the small scale, supposedly, that I have. I just finalized the last credential to be a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida. Thank God for that.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And so now I am ready to go forth full-fledged, but my schedule is pretty full already. So I am careful about how I move forward with that process.
I love the name, and I know Blue has something to say about C-Star. I wondered, I didn't delve a little deeper, but I wanted to ask you what that stood for. And also May is also bringing awareness to mental health month as well. So you are just on point.
Yes.
And Derrick, what do you say about C-Star?
I have 2 things to say. The first thing I'll say is it reminds me of Esther. Esther was hidden until she could no longer be hidden, and she was raised up for such a time as this. So there's a need for the kingdom, the marketplace has need of C-Star, and that's why the timing had to be now. 8 years, but it had to be now, and that's really what's happening. And so I'm excited about that, and I've had the privilege of hearing about it, even while Dr. Lewis was doing what she was doing to get where she needed to be. So, I kind of was able to kind of see a lot of the stuff that was going on and the hard work that kind of went into developing this. Yes. So it's definitely the right time for it, and it'll be effective because it's supposed to be here. And then the second thing that I'll say is not only is May, Mother's Day, not only is it was Teacher Appreciation Month, not only is it Mental Health Awareness, but it's also Derrick Blue's birthday month.
Yes.
So and I want to go ahead and say that we can change it all to Derrick Blue Month. if we can do that. I appreciate everybody else, but I vote that we change it to Derrick Blue Month.
We can share the love, though, can't we, Brother Blue?
No, you know what? We'll share it. We'll share it.
Thank you so much. He's a sharing kind of guy. And
I know.
It's his birth month. I have 2 daughters, my biological daughter and my blessed daughter, and they both are born on the same day. My husband is Alpha and Omega. So Derrick, you'll have to share that month with Alana Cuso and Eureka Cuso on May 17th. So May is a very, very special month. And so I appreciate that. It's my anniversary month too.
Wow, mine is the 20th.
And for me, we all got to share a little bit in the month.
Okay, I'll share it then.
So. We thank you for that. So we appreciate that, Pastor Blue.
He's my co-host. So Mentor Me.
Wow.
Tell us a little bit about the program, but more importantly, what is needed in your program now, because it's about to start right around the corner. And can people still register? Dr. Lewis?
Absolutely. Registration is live and running now. If they went to the Mentor Me page, the application is right there. It's online, and we can work out the fees, over the next few weeks. Those aren't needed until early June. But right now, we would just like for people to get their application in so we can kind of vet it a little bit, make sure that we're going to be able to meet their needs, that they can play nice in the sandbox, as we like to call it, in terms of what we would like to offer and make sure it's a good fit for them. We're looking, it's a pilot project, so we're looking to do it with about 10 to 15 students. If we get more, we'll be able to accommodate that as well. But it's a holistic approach that is going to work on give them structured activities in a variety of areas. I've always been concerned about kids who have absolutely nothing to do in the summer, after having, 9-10 months of academic experiences and maybe social outlets through extracurricular activities in school. And then for 3 months or so in the summer, you're home doing nothing but playing video games all day and being on social media in this era. We didn't have that in our era, but, in this one. And so, the idea was birthed in me to put together a program that would offer some structured activities and content. And what I like about the counseling field is that, we look at things from a holistic perspective. And so there's a touch of academics in there based on areas that they may need to work on, and we'll be there to coach and push them in that arena. But we're also looking at stuff like, computer skills, health and fitness, oh my gosh, cooking. I mean, we've got different things going on in the mix with this program. Yes, we have guest mentors, just like I'm popping on here today. Yes. We have guest mentors that are going to pop in and talk with the kids and get them excited about different activities and interests. And so it's giving them some structure, but it's doing it in a way that they will schedule and plan, and they have to be accountable and report. Here's my plan for the week. Here's how I'm going to do it. And then we will do weekly meetups on virtual, on Zoom, kind of like we're doing now with Facebook, but meeting up virtually to talk through those activities and how things are going. And the beautiful thing is it's only for 4 weeks. So you still got time to get your vacation in. You still got a couple of weeks to do absolutely nothing if that's what you want to do, but you do have that time to get on and interact with other young people. We are incorporating 2 live events so that you can get away from the screen. Shout out to that group for 5508 for providing one of those outlets so that we can get out and connect and intermingle, but still do it in a way that is safe. We know they've been on the screen a lot, I get that. Yes. But we are still trying to be safe, and we are going to incorporate a little bit of live action as well.
Well, girl, that was one of my questions, because I'm thinking the kids are coming off of what's new to them, and that's virtual schooling. And now we're inviting them to a virtual summer camp.
Right.
And like Derrick, 2 things. When I saw your age group, go ahead and tell us the age group, Dr. Lewis.
The age group is 14 to 18.
Okay,
teenage, so middle school, high school.
14 to 18. And I'm thinking they're welcoming a break. What I liked when I saw the 20 hours, my first thought was, and thinking back to when I was a teenager, I just couldn't wait to get a summer job.
Right.
And with 20 hours, they can also work as well. Yep.
They can still work. They can still do their community service hours for scholarship opportunities. Yeah, they still have time to do other things. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the students come on our campus. Will they be in the courtyard, or will they be in? Oh, that's great.
Yes. Hold on. We got to represent right now. They're going to be in the beautiful courtyard at 5508 North 50th Street.
The beautiful courtyard.
It's
becoming more and more beautiful every month.
It really is. And I sent Derrick, if you remember, I don't know if you're caught up to date, I sent you where you can have these torps, and they're asymmetrical, like triangular. You can kind of connect them from the units and prepare for inclement weather. I'll resend them. And I thought that's the last thing that needs. It gives us some covering.
Oh, absolutely.
Over the courtyard, but it allows the sun to still come in as well. And so I love the courtyard. I'm looking forward to activities out there. Yes. It's a beautiful place. We have 2 amazing pergolas. I can remember back when Dr. V was teaching her students in the courtyard.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that sounds great. We might need that in the summer because we do get some rain
Absolutely.
there.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're looking at, this stuff that we've been kind of thinking about and talking about is how we give some type of covering for the stage area as well as the seating area as well. So just stay tuned. Those who are viewing and watching, stay tuned. It's just a matter of time.
Awesome.
But it's also good just to enjoy the beautiful lighting and the beautiful sunshine. We were just out there for the American Mass Company, and the weather was just perfect.
Yes, it was.
It was just perfect.
Yeah.
And so, Derrick, what do you say? You've got 5 kids at home, and you all are homeschooling with this program that Dr. Lewis has come up with. And I'm going to do Mel a favor. Mrs. Melanie Blue created at the beginning of the pandemic, it was called the Glam Kitchen. And Dr. Lewis, she cooked with us. I'm telling you, I never missed a session.
I saw a few of those.
It kept me sane. So when you're thinking about having a guest, shameful plug, come on your show to do a cooking demonstration, you better call Melanie Blue.
I'll give that some thought. This young man that we have coming, let me just put in a quick plug. I'm blessed to have Dr. Angela Scott with GHC Smile, Growing Capital Smile. So she is going to be a co-facilitator with me in this process. So she brought on a young man who is a chef. And so, yes, he's going to come on and talk about a little something. And hey, if it all works out, we might even have him at 5508 on July 16th for the grand finale. We just might. We're going to see. We're going to see.
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to have to volunteer.
Nice.
Hey, we could use a few. Come on. Come on.
I think what you're doing is just phenomenal, and I hope you exceed the number that you're looking for, simply because it's virtual, so you can probably adjust that. And thank you for mentioning Dr. Scott. And I met Dr. Scott through, and I know Derrick is going to talk about this in the second half hour of our show, but we have met some interesting people, and you're on the THAP Accelerated Business Program.
Yes. That's where I know that name from.
That's right. That's right. She's in the program.
She's in the program, and I'm so excited about that. But I'll say this too, is that it is, when you look at what people have kind of experienced over the last 12 months, if you will, it certainly showed the resilience of our young people, of our families. But I don't think we should ever underestimate the impact that we can't even see. You can look at the economy and see what happened. You can look at certain restaurant business, but then one thing that you can't underestimate is the impact that it had here.
Right.
And I think that as resilient as our kids are, and as resilient as us as parents are, I mean, this whole process has been a bit interesting, to say the least.
Amen.
You know what I mean? What we've had to process, parents having to figure out, okay, am I going to send my kid out to see a devil that I can't even see? Or, and processing that, and kids having to do that. So, like I said, it's timely. And I think that it's and especially in our communities, it's taboo to talk about mental health. It's taboo to really be able to share those type of things. So, Dr. Lewis, and Dr. Gilchrist and I had a conversation during the pandemic about mental health.
Yeah,
and
we did.
How there are some things you're not going to, I believe in prayer, but there's some things you got to talk through. You need somebody that you can look in the face and talk to as well.
Right.
So, but I'm excited. So I'm definitely excited about this initiative and this THAP Accelerator initiative where we met Dr. Scott, and it's been amazing.
Yeah, to piggyback on what you just said, Pastor Blue, since we do like to be biblical about some things, it does talk about faith without works is dead. And so along with, we pray because we have faith that, our prayers will be answered, but there is still work that we have to do in the process as well. And so we're just trying to do the work that goes with the prayer. That's all.
That's it. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
And you are, and as Pastor Blue alluded to earlier, one of my favorite characters in the Bible is Ruth. But when you get to know Ruth, you have to get to know Esther.
Right.
And when he pointed that out with C Star, so you get to be an Esther to so many Ruths and those that are coming along. And God help them when they find their Boaz, but that's a conversation for another day. Isn't it interesting how when it's given to you and that seed is planted, now you become this amazing vessel to be able to go and help and encourage such young minds. I was looking at the news yesterday, and there's a PhD, and she decided in mental health, and she decided that the children needed help, HELP, during this pandemic. And Dr. Lewis, her website went from 400 to over like 4 million.
Wow.
What awesome. I thought was, and all she did was provide an outlet for the children to talk.
Yeah. Yep.
You said something there. That's extremely
just
important.
Talk. They didn't want to talk to their parents. They didn't necessarily want to talk to their friends, but they needed to speak and someone to listen.
Listen. Yep. And that's key. There's so much going on today. Even pre-pandemic, there's just so much going on in the world. And we as adults, we get caught up adulting with all of our decisions and responsibilities. And so, we need those platforms that make sure that our kids don't get lost. So what she's doing, what I'm hoping to offer, those are outlets and avenues that hopefully will be an answer to those young people who need to know that they're not forgotten and that they do have a voice.
Absolutely.
It will be an answer because faith is the substance of things what hoped for.
Yep.
And you're providing the evidence so that they'll be able to see it. Go ahead, my co-hosts.
But when you think about it, even if we look at this for aspiring business owners who are kind of ready to do what Dr. Lewis has done, through your example, the business that you mentioned, that started with the small hits on their website, and then once they launched, turned into millions. It shows something that if you can provide something of value that's needed,
that's right,
and you're serious about it, people will. Your passion will be infectious, and not only will you fall in love with it, everybody else will fall in love with it too. But you're meeting a critical need, and the world responds to that.
Amen. I gotta say amen. Amen.
Listen, we've got another member of the Thapp family choir. Let me see if we can hear from Ingrid Daniels, Young.
Hey, Ingrid.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I am actually driving. But nonetheless, hold on just a moment. I don't think can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, hold on. I've got my earpiece.
I tell you what, these backdrops, you can be in your automobile driving. It just dawned on me. I thought she was stationary.
So. And still represent, right?
Yeah, she is. She's going to come and share with us in a minute. I just wanted her to say hello to you before you have to disconnect. And so, final thoughts, Dr. Lewis, and we'll break for a commercial.
Gosh, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to have this opportunity to come and share. And I definitely look forward to the idea of coming back again. Ms. Kuso, I'm familiar with you through Thapp, of course. Enjoy working with Brother Blue over here and the things that we get to do through Thapp Group and 5508. And I will be out at the Tampa Bay Black Heritage Festival this weekend with the table. So if you all see me out there, feel free to stop by and ask questions. I'll have the QR code set up. You can apply right there on the spot. But by all means, give us a look, fill out the application. Let's talk. Let's get your child involved. Even if they can't do this program, still let me hear from you. What do you need? What can we do to help your child move into that college and career space? Because we do college and career events as well. And we're grateful for that partnership with Thapp's support. support in doing that, and others that are on the team. And so we do have multiple opportunities. So even if you can't do Mentor Me, I hope you can, but even if you can't, still reach out to us and let us know how we can connect and be of a help.
Well, you put the nail on the head when you said that. Thank you so much. We're going to take a commercial break and we
Yes.
will be back in 2.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
In Touch Radio, the most loved station across the nation. In Touch Radio. Tell a friend. In Touch Radio.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661.
And we are back. Thank you so much for tuning in to Let's Talk Business with SJC. I am here with my co-host who brings us the blueprint, which he is about to lay it out. Take it, Derrick Bloom.
Thank you, Dr. Cuso. Listen, I'm just so excited about what is happening for small businesses in East Tampa. You know, as we've been talking about probably since January, we've launched an accelerator program for businesses who work in or provide services in East Tampa and the surrounding areas, and it's been going great. I mean, we've had the SBA. There are several business owners who've gone through and taken SBA type training to learn how to apply for PPP, to learn how to get their business minority certified, of their veterans, the benefits that exist for veterans. I mean, we've had bankers come on and have conversations. Yes. We've had marketing gurus and experts come on. We had Brian Butler last week, I believe.
Yeah, Vista Communications.
That from Vista Communications. And I mean, it's been amazing. I mean, and then now May 6th, which is tomorrow, we have Michelle Bradley, Tax Pro of Tampa, who will be teaching a 3-part series starting for the next 3 weeks. It'll be starting tomorrow, Thursday the 6th, the 13th, and then the 20th. They'll be teaching about finance and how to you know, everything from how to price your products and your service to making sure your taxes are in order. It's something that is very, very critical that every small business should attend. And the number is literally growing daily of people who are getting on to take that. So I recommend everybody, you know, visit our website, thatgroup.org, go to the accelerator program if you want to be a part of that and join, and then we'll make sure that you're able to be connected to that training and trainings like that that are coming down the pipeline, and it only gets better each time.
Absolutely, and I've been a part of every single one, and it really is it's a great program. Having Ms. Bradley come on to talk to us, it's also a great time because we did the SBA presentation and walk through the whole video. She can help individuals who maybe were not in a readiness state because they have until, I believe, May 31st to still apply for the CARES Act funding. And she can help, you know, tie some of those loose ends or help individuals get to in a position or a better position to be able to apply for those funds to help your business. Oh, we have Ingrid back.
Yes, representing. And that's what it's all about. We've received an overwhelming level of just people who are hungry to improve their companies, their businesses. I mean, and it's information that it's information that you would normally probably have to pay to get. And just for the lack of a better way of putting this together, this is information that we pay you to get.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. Because same with
I
the
mean,
program, there's what, a small
absolutely.
stipend.
And Dr. Kuso, we'll be touching on marketing. We'll be touching on social media marketing, networking. I mean, you name it, social capital, just the things that are important for a small business or entrepreneur, anybody that wants to do anything great. The one thing that I learned is that you always have to be a student.
Absolutely.
Always have to be a student. So, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited about it. We're looking forward to putting that stamp on these business owners so that whenever they leave, they're actually able to go and they leave this program much better, in a much better position with different connections that help thrust them kind of into the marketplace.
And
So
that's
it's exciting.
fantastic, because if the pandemic has taught us nothing else, it's definitely taught us about business readiness. And one of the things Dr. Lewis mentioned, her facilitator, Dr. Angela Scott, who I met through the THAP Accelerated program. And I was reading about her and I thought it interesting. I thought she had a financial company, but her business is growing human capital. I hope she'll get to be one of the presenters as well, because that's just a whole new area of what she can teach our small businesses. Because sometimes people have to recognize that you don't just want a customer for a day, you want a customer for a lifetime. So be intentional in how you treat that one customer.
That is the truth. And one of the things that Dr. Lewis and I talk about as well, and we've talked about from time to time as well as with others, but the whole idea of emotional intelligence, yes, even in your company, and I say this a lot, and this is something that I think we should pay attention to, and I won't mention a name. So let's say there is restaurant A, mm-hmm, that they're not open on Sundays, but they provide let's say fast food restaurant A.
Okay.
They provide a stellar type of service. I see lines wrapped around that building. Everyone I go to, it doesn't matter where it's at. And
I already know who you're talking about.
And the food that they provide is always on time, very, very, very rarely wrong, and you're in and you're out, and everybody, for the most part, is just extremely nice. It seems like they're all reading from the same blueprint.
Yes.
The same playbook. And then there are other restaurants that you can go to and you leave upset. Why? Because much about business and customer service, it's not only about what you're providing, but it's how you make me feel when you're providing Absolutely. It to me. And I think, like you were saying, when you talk about human capital and EQ, is understanding that that's a major component of how we do business, and you know what I mean, and what makes people keep coming back to you,
again and again and again. Derrick Blue, one of your new executive board members, Ingrid Daniels Young, are you live? Can you unmute? Okay, she might not be able to, but I wanted her to just share, because I know you got some things coming down the pipeline. So you're talking about who your guests are going to be on the show this week. But who are some of the other community leaders and entrepreneurs and business owners that will be joining the THAP Accelerated Business Program?
So y'all gonna have to keep this a secret though. But I would say part 2, because we're still in part 1 of this, and we're still we have, when I tell you, there are going to be some power pack speakers. You know, one of the speakers, a couple of the speakers that I'll say is one of our friends, Gary Hartfield.
Yes.
You know, he's an intricate part of this second part. Also, another one of our friends. Yes, he's a fellow cover mate of the DSI Black Pages.
You better recognize.
And then one of our other friends, Michael Clayton.
Yes.
You know, former NFL star, is also a part of it. And so we're looking at now the SBA information and the things that you kind of get, the finance stuff. You know, financials, they don't talk back to you. They're they're black and white. You know, your numbers are either right or you're wrong. But then, and that deals with your business. But then there's another component to this thing is, you know, this first part is, okay, let's work on your business. Let's teach you how to work on your business. Part 2 says, okay, now we're going to work on you. You know, we're going to work on you. Those things that people can't really see, but they still can see based off of your progress, based off of what you do and you don't do. So it's those things of, okay, you work on your business. Now it's time. Let's focus on you and prepare you for the success, you know, that you say that you want. And you know what, Dr. Couso, one last thing I will say that is extremely important. As you all know, go to the THAP group page, and I actually I interviewed. THAP has a strategic alliance with the SBA, and their trainings are going to be kind of ingrained moving forward into our programming as an organization. So I had an interview with one of the regional folks, and we talked about the available programs, the PPP program that's still being funded every day. Businesses are receiving funding every day. The EIDL advances that have kind of come down the pipeline, and the money there, and the things that a business should do to be prepared for that with their bookkeeping and having things in order and not letting Junior and them do your paperwork. And then she talked about something that I think is important. She talked about the restaurant revitalization program. Yes. If you want to see that video, go to the THAP group page and you'll see, but it's about 48 minutes. And she was talking about, you know, who can receive those funds. And I mean, there are restaurants who received up to 15 million in funding, and then as little as $1,000. So, and it's available to caterers, to restaurants, to breweries. I mean, just if you're in the food service business, I would encourage you to go and watch that video and then get connected to the SBA.
Well, we will definitely share that link with our thank you post, as we always do. And this is what's coming from the 5508, the THAP Accelerated Program. Many thanks to the City of Tampa, which they're launching another program. Absolutely. The workshops are, I believe, start tomorrow, and we will include that post in our flyer in our thank you post as well. What is it, Derrick Blue, that you want small business owners to take away from the Business Accelerator program? We've kind of been talking it up. You're making preparations, but that end goal is what?
I would say that the end goal to it all is to take your business out of your head, to take it out of your head, out of your heart, out of your mind. And I want for small business owners to be able to see, to feel, and to touch that success that they've been looking for. You know, to really, really take that. This is about taking that next step. When you talk about accelerate, you know, you're already in the car is moving. You have everything that you need. I mean, you have the tires, you have the engine. I mean, it looks good on the outside, but it ain't going nowhere. So what this accelerator is about, it's about you taking your foot, not depending on nobody else's foot,
Mm.
i.e. nobody else's efforts, but you, entrepreneur, CEO, visionary, you taking your foot and you hit that accelerator. And what THAP has done is saying, we're going to give you enough gas money. So when you hit that, when you take your foot and you press the gas, now you can start going somewhere and you can accelerate beyond just being an idea, beyond being just something, a side hustle that you do. But we're going to instill within you and put you in front of people that says, listen, the first investment that has to be made is an investment in yourself. And if you won't invest in yourself, nobody is going to invest in you. And that's just the reality of it. That's the truth of the matter. So I want to take away, and I'm going to kind of take a little bit out of the name of my organization.
Okay.
Action. It's about now. Let's spring into action now. You've talked about it enough, but now it's time for action. That's what I want to leave. I want for people to take action.
Take action. You heard it from the THAP CEO. Take action. That's Tampa Hillsborough Action Plan. From the very beginning, everything that we do, every strategic plan that we put out there, it begins with action. You got to act upon whatever it is that you're getting ready to do. As Dr. Lewis mentioned to us, you know, God gives us the vision. He helps us to develop that process. And sometimes you just have to wait until all of the pieces are in place, but you don't stop working. You still continue to work, you still continue to build, you still continue to make those connections and develop that program. You can actually continue to put it out there, but like she was saying, now she can reach a larger group, but was waiting to get all of her certifications in place. And that's really what it's all about. And that's what you get to bring to the table. As an entrepreneur, those are your skill sets. That's what people are paying the experts for and to be able to do. And then she's taking out children. So I thought it was just apropos to have her come on as a result of Teacher Appreciation Week. And I must ask, Derrick Bloom, your favorite teacher or one of your favorite teachers?
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. And thank you, D. Wilkins. We've been certainly praying for you. Continue making that impact. And, you know, I think, man, that's tough. When I really, really sit and look at it, I would say I've enjoyed every single teacher. And I also think the best is going to be yet to come. But, you know, one that stuck out to me was Brian Butler with Vistra Communications. And the reason I say it stuck out to me is kind of like you and I were saying prior to the broadcast is Brian basically said, let's sit down at the coffee table and let's have a chat. You know, we know that he's highly decorated, you know, in a couple of different ways, but it's almost like, listen, these are some of the mistakes that I made, and here's how I learned from it. And, you know, one of the things too, Dr. Couso, that I kind of gathered from this is this. The one thing that I would say that an entrepreneur should do, and I kind of gleaned this from Brian's presentation and time that we've spoken, is execute on the opportunities that are presented before you, right?
Yes.
Because even if you feel like you know, there's going to be something in that you can learn and you can grow from. And it's about when opportunities come to you. And this is what I tell folks. The city of Tampa Hillsborough Action Plan partnered. The city of Tampa believed in our initiative and said, we're going to fund it. It's an investment for small businesses in East Tampa. And I would encourage you to take advantage of the knowledge. Yeah, there'll be a small stipend, but the knowledge that you're going to get and that you get in the exposure, and how you, Dr. Couso, being one of the team members, you were actually able to meet with Dr. Angela Scott, and you met somebody that maybe you didn't know or knew exactly what they did, but you learn, and then you can grab these people, and then now you just made them a part of your network.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
That's also what Brian Butler talked about too, is, and you'll get this a lot with Diva J. She always tells us to be present in the room. So everybody that was present in that room got to meet him, and he made himself available if he can help in any way to be able to reach out to him. And that's really what it's all about. We have to collaborate and learn to work and network with one another. So he gets to be your teacher. So in Teachers Appreciation Week, thank you, Mr. Butler.
Thank you, sir. And Dr. Kuso, and that's what it's about, being a student. As even if you're talking teacher appreciation, we're all in the classroom, whether we know it or not. We're in the class. We're all in the classroom, and everything is a teacher.
It is. So be prepared for teachable moments. I was thinking about this Teacher Appreciation Week, and last year I remember we were having some technical difficulties on the show, and it was Teacher Appreciation Week, and we went on with the show, but I was on the low part of the show by myself, and I remember shouting out 3 teachers that made an impact on my life. Now, just last year, and mind you, they were what we would call seasoned senior teachers, but they made such an indelible impact on my life. And of course, one being my mother. And, my mother made her heavenly transition 15 years ago, but I think about her life lessons every single day. The other was actually my aunt, Margie Nickerson, and who was a teacher, early elementary education, and she just celebrated in January her 90th birthday. She's still here with us.
Wow.
The other 2, Mrs. Lillian Williams Brown and Mrs. Dolores Willer, were both called home to be with the Lord. But I got to do the show and actually share with them and my appreciation for them while they were here. I've done it for many, many years, but to have this platform that we are blessed with, and our new teacher, Dr. Gladys B. West, that we get to shout these individuals out. We get to create memories with them. We get to learn from their teachable moment as we become them. Now we get to be the teachers, whether we're teaching our youth or children or entrepreneurs, or you're working a ministry at your church. It's part of our service. It's part of our calling. So we take this opportunity to say thank you to all of our teachers in whatever capacity that you are reaching out to our students. You are the epitome of essential workers.
Yes.
And we pause to say, we can't just give you a week. We appreciate teachers every single day.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you agree?
I agree wholeheartedly. Essential work.
Now, listen, you're going to appreciate this. I was listening. I just love learning. I'm a lifelong learner. But I was listening to the news this morning, and one of the anchors was so disappointed because in their state, which was New York, they have taken away snow day.
Snow day.
And, I thought about that because when we were going through the pandemic, I said, what's going to happen this time next year here in Florida? We have the inclement weather, we have hurricanes, and there are always those days built into the curriculum where students have to do makeup. And the one of the anchors was saying, how can they take away snow day? We use that day to have fun and to go play in the snow. This is what virtual school is.
Yeah.
I tell you, I thought that was so funny. And she said, even if it's a snow day, we're probably just going to call in and take it because the kids need a break. But this is what's happening, and this is what our virtual learning has created for us. Yeah. Although you may not be able to go to the physical school, but listen, virtual school is on now.
It is on. It's becoming a new norm in some households.
It is becoming a new norm. And so that being said, I don't have little ones that I'm teaching here. So a shout out to you and Melanie Blue. But we have a couple of more minutes left. But tell us about that virtual school experience.
Man, listen, so it started off, Dr. Kuso, it started with, we had all of the kids. We have 5 children. Every last one of them was at the house. And, they had devices and all of that type of stuff. But I was tasked to work with one of my assignments was my youngest son, Dalen.
Okay.
The 8-year-old Dalen, Mr. Dalen. And Dalen, number one, Dalen likes to do 5 different things at the same time. And, when I hit 40 years old, my patience started leaving with it too. So, and I had to take a class, while I was the teacher, I was also the student. I had to go back to Patience 101. This young man was so active and hyper, and the teacher, look, everybody involved was frazzled. The teacher, she had to learn the electronics. She don't know how to share her screen. I'm in there trying to keep Dalen awake and in one seat while trying to teach him how to count money and all of these type of things. And now multiply that times 5. And so when we talk about mental health, when I tell you that was probably one of the most challenging times of my life. And so, we still have a couple hybrid students at the house, but, with much prayer and supplication, we decided that we were going to let Dalen go back. So they're trained and they're degreed, and they can, that's all they have to do. Now, mind you, I'm doing all of that while working full time.
I know.
Businesses, church, and everything else, and trying to manage this, so so what it did give me, and I voice your sentiment, when you talk about essential workers, the teachers never had a break.
Never had a break. And
there are some great, I know it's a lot of stuff happening in this county, that, is probably, this shed a negative light on our school system. However, we have some awesome teachers.
We do.
In this, in this community, who are dedicated. It's not just a job for them. You know what I mean? It's like a calling. And without them, I mean, you probably would have been seeing me. You think I'm gray,
Listen, Derrick Blue, on that note, because you have just cracked up your co-host, we're going to take this opportunity to say thank you to the parents who become teachers. Yeah. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. Dr. Lewis, she asked for prayer, and prayer we will extend. Thank you for being the guest on our show. Thank you to our Facebook listeners. Today's show is a wrap.